talking about the sequences of playing the chess, can you tell me how important are they?
So the importance of the sequences will be decided by a lot of different factors. One is when you have that threat, when you need to respond, making the really aggressive move in that situation will end up in you losing. And when you're ahead, when you're in a favorable position, and then you have a defensive move that looks really good because it defends something that you're worried about, but you miss the opportunity to be aggressive and to make a forceful winning move, you again lose that opportunity and you lose your momentum. So the timing is everything, and then the sequence is everything. And sometimes the opportunities will come when you're least expecting them. You could be in a position of danger and you can have an immediate threat that looks like you need to respond to it, but you simply make a counter threat, you make an intermediate move, and that juxtaposition in the sequence will make all the difference and turn things in your favor just by that ability to forecast the results.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think this sequence is so important in the Book of Changes for several reasons. Number one is the sequence of the lines in one hexagram. If you move them around, it becomes a different hexagram, and each hexagram represents a different situation. Another thing is that the hexagrams themselves, from hexagram 1 to hexagram 64, it has its own sequence. The first hexagram is about the king. So, it's about the young 6 lines. And then the same thing with the chess. The most important piece is the king. These hexagrams have a sequence, and why they are like that, we don't know. I study a little bit about the original 8 trigrams. They do have this sequence because it's according to the nature. You have the sky, you have the earth, then you have the thunder, the wind. All these things, they'll have a sequence. Let's use Qian hexagram 1 as one example. Qian is very powerful. It's a number 1, it's the king, but the first line, it says, hidden dragon, do not use 潜龙勿用. You cannot move when you are from the very beginning. You need people to protect you, right? Then it comes to line 2. 见龙在田，利见大人. Now it's time for you to use all these people to protect you. You develop the pieces so they can protect you. The line 3 says, 君子终日乾乾. It means you need to be very vigorous all day and wary. You have to be very cautious even though you don't have to move. It doesn't mean like you can just sit there doing nothing. You have to be very cautious. I think it's very similar to chess. Would you agree?
Keep going, because I think there's some even more similarities.
Line 4 is talking about now need springs up from the deep. You cannot just hide anymore. You are being exposed. And once you are being exposed, you are the king, and it's time for you to show your power. So line 5 says, a dragon flies in the sky. It's time to see the great results. If you move too late, you don't move your king. When it's too late, it goes to the line 6. Line 6, it says, 亢龙有悔, do nothing, and then be too late, now be problematic. Do you think it's very much like how the king moves in chess?
It's more than very much. It's an exact description of the king in a chess game, because in the very beginning, you need to keep your king protected. You need to keep it protected between a wall of pawns. You need to develop your pieces and deploy your armies to go out and work for the king. You still need to be cautious of the king throughout that whole process. What are the threats against my king? Is my king safe? And that evaluation of your king's safety is a huge part of the positional evaluation. Then once you get into the end game, you must use your king. You have to use your king. There's no more hiding. The king must come out, and it becomes another piece. It becomes as powerful as one of the other pieces, if not more so. You must do the opposite in the endgame than you were in the beginning. In the endgame, you must move your king out to the center of the board. And in chess, we know that if you move your king out to the center of the board in the opening, you're going to lose. But if you don't move your king out into the center of the board in the endgame, you're going to lose. So it's very descriptive of the way that the king operates in a chess game throughout the different phases of the chess game.
Wow. I didn't know that. I knew a little bit, but you explained with depth. Thank you.